Ciao y'all, Naturally Kenya here, and today I'm coming at you with a little bit of a story time video. For those of you that are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like the story. A little background on myself. My name is Kenya, and I have lived in Rome, Italy for the past 9 months, I think now, 9 months. I just wanted to tell you guys my story about the situation I was in December of last year. This is just a story of what happened to me. I'm not saying that it will happen to everyone that comes to Italy, but I just want to share my experience about what happened in my situation. I actually lived in an apartment in central Rome, approximately maybe 20 minutes away from the Colosseum, so very central. And I had an apartment on the 7th floor with 3 of the roommates that I was living with, and I was there as well. So it was a total of 4 people in the apartment. This all starts one night when one of my roommates texts me. She's like, "Hey Kenya, are you home? Because your door is open and the light is on." And I'm thinking, this is very strange. But my things are always closed, locked, light off. Like, my things are always very closed and secure when I'm not there. I was like, okay, that's interesting. What does it look like? Like, what's going on in there? And then they go on to describe that my things have been thrown around the room. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, so this is definitely a theft or a robbery of some kind of situation, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on, so I can't connect the pieces. So the building that I was actually living in, I guess they were repainting the exterior, so there was scaffolding around the building. I mean, workers would clearly climb and like shaving the paint off of the building and then repainting back. I guess that's how it works. I have no idea. And when I started to connect the pieces and ask my roommates about what exactly happened, they went on to tell me there was a hammer found in another one of the girls' rooms. It's interesting to me only because there was no broken glass. And I'm not exactly sure how you open a window or pry open a window with a hammer but not break glass. Can someone explain that to me? If you actually know the answer to that, can you comment back or can you comment below the video? Because I'm very confused. I'm still confused to this day. That there was a hammer found by one of the windows, and yet there were no signs of robbery in anybody else's room except my own. Nobody had anything moved in their room except me. And I'm like, something just is not adding up. When I looked around my room, what I noticed was that they had stolen euros from me, and all of my wallet, my debit cards, my passport, clothes, socks, shoes, everything was thrown all over the room. I don't feel safe being here because someone was over my bed and my things taking my stuff. Ridiculous situation to be in. I'm an engineer and I like a report, a technical report of everything that happens. You can't tell me there's a hammer found and no broken glass. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm not connecting the pieces. After the whole situation ended, I was clearly upset, emotionally bothered. Like, I just felt not safe. And that's something you never want to feel whenever you move abroad, especially when you're moving abroad alone, not with a group. It just was a very eye-opening experience because it really makes you feel alone. And later, we went to file like a denuncia, which is like a police report, at the carabinieri, which is like a military police. Obviously, there's no investigation, nothing happens, they'll never find out who did it or what happened, nothing. It was used to try to make an insurance claim for the things that were stolen, AKA the money from my room, but magically, the insurance didn't cover it. I just find that very interesting, but I mean, you know, maybe there's different rules in Italy that I don't know about. I know plenty of situations where this has happened to people, and it's not only in Italy, so I don't want to be biased and say that it only happens in Italy. But that was my story of my experience with how it happened. I just find it a little strange that all of this happened when I was out of the house in my university classes, but hey, you never know in life. Maybe it was a guy who was working on the building, maybe it was somebody else. Who knows? I'm just saying that this is the situation that I was in back in December. Is Italy safe? That's a good question. I would say yes and no, but just like any other country, it's a yes and no situation. I just find it interesting that I'm on the 7th floor with scaffolding and my room is the only one that got touched. I don't know if you can connect those dots, but I'm just saying. So essentially, that's the story of the time I got robbed in Italy. I really want to hear your opinion on everything in my situation, or if you have been in similar situations abroad where you have been robbed or things have been a little a little sketchy, so to speak, I guess. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be having videos out for you guys a couple times a week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao, y'all.